Welcome back. So we're still with the ancestor Moses Roper, and as promised, I'm trying to get him home before the holidays, by which I mean to the end of his narrative so I could stop calling out his name into eternity. On the screen you're seeing an instrument of torture. It was not made to torture people, but it was used to do so by white enslavers. And like with everything, I like to go to the root of it and point out that this kind of barbarism, this desire to punish and torture people, did not start in the Americas. In the Americas, it took on a racist turn, and that kind of energy was put towards indigenous people, and primarily indigenous and black people. But in Europe, they had that kind of torture vibe, torture energy towards each other. One of the methods that they would use in their penal system was called drawn and quartered, and the name alludes to what it is, right? Drawn. They would pull the body of another human being apart. The horse and cart would draw the person until the person's body broke into quarters. Yep, that was it. So it's no surprise then that they took that kind of energy, unhealed, barbaric energy, into the Americas. Of course, you should not stop at listening to me giving that story. You can read philosophers like Foucault, that's a French philosopher, and you can also read mental health professionals, their research about that kind of behavior and their theories about how to heal that kind of generational desire to torture others. But let me jump into the story. Among the instruments of torture employed, I here describe one. This is a machine used for packing and pressing cotton. By it, he hung me up by the hands at letter A, a horse moving round the screw E and carrying it up and down and pressing the block C into the box D, into which the cotton is put. At this time, he hung me up for a quarter of an hour. I was carried up 10 feet from the ground when Mr. Gooch asked me if I was tired. He then let me rest for 5 minutes, then carried me around again. After which he let me down and put me into box D and shut me down in it for about 10 minutes. Do you see how much time and effort and thought, or maybe it was instinctive, of punishing and torturing another human being? That's not human. After this torture, I stayed with him several months and did my work very well, right? It seems like he accomplished what he was doing. It was about the beginning of 1832 when he took off my irons, and being in dread of him, he having threatened me with more punishment, I attempted again to escape from him. Why did he attempt to escape again? This is me talking, because he's a healthy human being. When we're unkind, when we torture others, a healthy response is to take themselves away from us. At this time, I got into North Carolina, but a reward having been offered for me, Mr. Robinson caught me and chained me to a chair, upon which he sat up with me all night, and next day proceeded home with me. This was Saturday. Mr. Gooch had gone to church of the Satan, I added that part, church, several miles from his house. When he came back, the first thing he did was pour some tar on my head, then rub it all over my face, took a torch with a pitch on and set it on fire. There, what is he doing? That man was very light skinned. You see that need to put the tar on him and blacken his face so he can punish him and make him into a darker skinned man and not more white, where he could see some kind of humanity in him, because Mr. Gooch only saw white people as humans in this state. He put it out before it did me very great injury, but the pain which I endured was most excruciating, nearly all my hair having been burnt off. On Monday, he put irons on me again, weighing nearly 50 pounds. He threatened me again on Sunday, the Lord's Day, with another flogging, and on Monday morning before daybreak I got away again with my irons on, and was about 3 hours hours going a distance of 2 miles. I had gone a good distance when I met with a colored man who got some wedges and took my irons off. However, I was caught again and put into prison in Charlotte, where Mr. Gooch came and took me back to Chester. He asked me how I got my irons off. They having been got off by a slave, I would not answer his question for fear of getting the man punished. Always a good guy, our lovely Moses Roper. Upon this, he put the fingers of my left hand into a vice and squeezed all my nails off. That is not a man, that is a monster. He then had my feet up on an anvil and ordered a man to beat my toes till he smashed some of my nails off. The marks of this treatment still remain upon me, my nails never having grown perfect since. He inflicted this punishment in order to get out of me how I got my irons off, but never succeeded. Good for you, Moses Roper. After this, he hardly knew what to do with me. The whole stock of his cruelties seemed to be exhausted. He chained me down in the log house. Soon after this, he sent a female slave to see if I was safe. Mr. Gooch had not secured me as though he thought, but had only run my chain through the ring without locking it. This I observed, and while the slave was coming, I was employed in loosening the chain with the hand that was not wounded. As soon as I observed her coming, I drew the chain up tight, and she, observing that I seemed fast, went away and told her master, who was in the field ordering the slaves. When she was gone, I drew the chain through the ring, escaped under the flooring of the log house, and went on under his house till I came out at the other side and ran on. But being sore and weak, I had not got a mile before I was caught and again carried back. He tied me up to a tree in the woods at night and made his slaves flog me. I cannot say how many lashes I received, but it was not the worst flogging I ever had, and the last which Mr. Gooch ever gave me. So I'm stopping here. That's the torture and the result. Unbroken, unbowed, as Shirley Chisholm would say, and he kept on running, and that was the last. So he won against Mr. Gooch because that was the last, and he's writing the narrative, so we know his story did not end like that. Tell me what you think. Thanks for listening.